Hi ladies, and welcome back to Real Women of Philadelphia. Anna Olson here, and now that we're good friends, I want to share with you that this week, week 4, is the week I've been waiting for because the recipe theme, desserts. So if you've got a soft spot for sweets and baking just like I do, this is your week to submit your cream cheese recipes. Now remember, you could qualify to earn $20,000 and a chance to star in your own cooking videos. So to get you inspired, I want to share a favorite dessert recipe of mine, these creamy lemon squares. I know you'll love this recipe. Now, a good lemon square starts with a shortbread crust. So the base is quite simple. I start with a cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and I like to make quite a sturdy and thick shortbread base because I sort of do a double recipe of the lemon filling on top. This is 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, and I make sure it's chilled so that it doesn't get fully incorporated into the flour, but actually is sort of a rough, crumbly texture. It's all right if there are still a few pieces of the butter visible. I pour the crumbly mixture on top, so I just spread it out. And I do like to, whenever I make any type of square, line my pan with parchment paper so that it comes up the sides. That way, after the squares have chilled, it's easy to pull them all out and cut them into even and perfect squares. And I'll pop this into my preheated oven. It's at 350 and give it about 18 minutes. And I look until the crust is golden brown just around the edges, and I know it's done. All right, the crust is out of the oven, and before I make the lemon filling, I want to make sure it cools completely. You can see it has that nice sort of light golden brown color to it. So 1/2 block of cream cheese, now softened at room temperature, really does that. It lends a creamy taste, but it gives that lemon square filling body, so that way I can make it twice as big as the average lemon square. So when you do your dessert videos, it's those little tricks I want to hear about. So I've got the cream cheese in. I'll add first 1/2 cup of sugar and puree this until it's smooth. Great. Now the other added ingredients are quite simple. A 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And it's not just the lemons that give lemon squares their color, it's also the eggs. 4 whole eggs. And before I start adding the eggs, I'll zest a little of lemon zest. I like to use a fine grater so I get just that delicate outside of the lemon. It looks nice and lemony already, but we can't forget that lemon juice. So it takes a 1/2 cup of fresh lemon juice. Get the base pureeing again. And there we go. Easily pours in. So you can see how much of a lemon filling that's going to create in these lemon squares. And I've kept the oven at 350 degrees, and this filling takes a good 35 to 40 minutes. And it's kind of like cooking a cheesecake. The cream cheese is in there. So I wait until the outside edges are set and they just start to lift up a bit, but the center still has a little jiggle to it. These are the chilled lemon squares. After they spent their 35 to 40 minutes in the oven, I make sure I cool them completely to room temperature on the kitchen counter before I put them in the fridge to chill. It takes about 3-4 hours until they set, so they're ready to slice. I think luscious is the perfect word to use to describe these lemon squares. So here we go. I know if you make these lemon squares, they and you will be the hit of the party. But now it's time for you to grab your cameras, get into the kitchen, and show how you use cream cheese in your favorite dessert recipes, and submit the videos on realwomenofphiladelphia.ca. Good luck to you. Now it's time for dessert.